So, here is Being Petty Part 1, and the topic of this video is Imogen Temult from Critical Role. But first, pause this video, read the description, then unpause this video. That is, if you are willing to listen to some spoilers, because, spoilers. So, Imogen Temult is based off of my character, Imogen.es. And now, keep in mind, everything that I am talking about comes down to one thing. Critical Role should not have plagiarized my work. So Critical Role's Imogen. She is an outcast. She has these mysterious powers that she's trying to figure out where they came from and all that stuff. She's learning about the mystery of her mother, who she doesn't really know about. Like, she barely has any memories of her. So that's Imogen Temult. Why do I have a problem with this character? Because, truthfully, if this character was not based off of mine, cool. But because this character is based off of my character, I have a huge problem. Critical Role took bits, well, I can't even say bits. If you really look at how much they plagiarized from Imogen, it's not even a little bit. But, they took all these details from my character to make theirs. But they did leave some things out. They left out that my Imogen has gone through some shit, okay? So, my Imogen, she was kidnapped when she was 14. She was abused. A baby came out of that situation. And the good news is that she and the baby were rescued. But then the good news ends there, because 5 years after they were rescued, so Imogen would have been 22. Her mother and her son were murdered. Well, I guess there is some good news. She did save a little girl who was the same age as her son. And a bond formed between Mari, that's the little girl, and Imogen, because they were both survivors. Mari's parents were collateral damage. They died in a situation that had nothing to do with them. They were minding their own business, honestly. So it's like, I'm just going to pose a question to you. How does it sound when details like the character's physical description and abilities, even some stuff in regards to parent and child relationship, because their Imogen doesn't know her mother. My Imogen doesn't know her father. So they took those bits and pieces. I gotta stop saying bits and pieces. But they took those stuff, but they leave out. They don't take my Imogen being a mother. They don't take, not in specifics, but they don't take my Imogen being tortured. So what does that say? I have an opinion about that, but I actually have to be careful about my opinion. Um, um, I can only stick to the facts. And the facts, and that is the fact. That's the fact right there. I mean, they really took a lot of things about this character, but there were things that they purposely left out. An excuse they can give is because that kind of stuff is too heavy for what they're broadcasting. Which they wouldn't be wrong, but then that's exactly why you don't plagiarize somebody else's work. Because what an artist creates is with intention, and I intended to not hold back. I wanted to put a lot of weight into consequences and actions. A lot of weight. Because if characters have gone through some shit, then you're going to feel happy for them. You're going to root for them. And now I didn't purely have Imogen go through this stuff just so you could cheer for her. I had her go through this stuff because I did want to show... Because there are times I do put social commentary into my work. And I definitely wanted to show some of the ways that the world is cruel to children. To children. And so you can understand why these characters are so motivated to having a safe place to call their own, where their own children are protected. Because this is in reality, it's a messed up world. I do allow this to be fantasy because it's not supposed to. My series is not supposed to be only about the heavy stuff. They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be humor. But there are times, but I don't hold back. I don't hold back from the terrible stuff either. Now there are scenes I will never ever write. I'll just imply that it happened. I'll state that it happened. Those kinds of things, but I will never... I'm not interested in trauma porn. Because that's what that is. I'm not interested in trauma porn. But I do want my audience to really feel like things are at stake. Because there is going to be... I'm not going to tell you who, but there is going to be plot armor on certain characters. So it's important for me to trick the audience to feeling like there is actual weight. There are things at stake. Because you can't feel emotionally invested in something if that isn't there. If you feel like the characters are not at jeopardy, then why do you really care what happens to them? So that's why Critical Role should not have copied this character. If they wanted to create a character who is going on a mystery adventure to figure out who she is, that is fine. just don't attach my character who has actually gone through some real messed up stuff, because I've designed it for that to happen. Because my whole motivation is completely different. So I think that's everything that covers part 1. Tomorrow I will be releasing part 2. I do apologize for releasing this video late. It's late where I am. Just was focused on other things. But yes, tune in for tomorrow, because this is going to be a mini series, just a 4-part series. So I can't wait to talk about what part 2 is, because there's going to be some interesting discussion about that. But thank you for taking the time to listen to this video, and I will talk to you wonderful people next time.